Alright, thank you my people for watching our videos, liking, sharing and subscribing. We thank you very much. Welcome for this video today. The video for today now about Cameroonian and South African them. History between Cameroon and South Africa, and we plenty Cameroonian them with South African they don't know. Plenty Gen Z they no go get idea. Plenty people they don't know say South African black people them be originate from Cameroon. They don't ever get that idea. Plenty. You understand? So for this small video now, about 3 minute video, we will watch now just a summary of the history. So if you don't see if you go into deep for the history for any other place, I just want to expand at some small highlight and make people them feel understand about how people migration will make them before people come over the South African people, therefore South Africa, but they be originate right from Cameroon. So we'll watch this video, we'll see for ourselves. Let's go.
People are not the original inhabitants of South Africa, which, in fact, they're realizing that now. When they claimed that they owned all the land, the original inhabitants, of whom there are not many left, said, excuse me, we were the original inhabitants, you guys were migrants here as well, which they were. Okay, the original inhabitants of Southern Africa are called the Khoisan. In the West, the Bushmen are Khoisan. Hottentots are Khoisan. But you can't use those words anymore, you know, I have to call them Khoisan, okay? All right, now, and they were the inhabitants of the whole of Southern Africa. So the whole of South Africa, at one stage, were Khoisan. The black people originated in what is now Cameroon. That's where they...
Hold on, Khoisan aren't black?
No.
What are they?
They're a completely separate ethnicity all on their own. In fact, if you look at them, they're kind of yellowy. They're a light brown yellow color, right. But they look more Asian than African. They do not consider themselves African.
Interesting.
When the white guys arrive in Cape Town, so 1652 is when Dutch guys arrived there. At that stage, you could have divided South Africa almost exactly 50-50, what's now South Africa. The western half of the country was entirely Khoisan. There were no black people there. None at all. Only Khoisan. So we Cape Towners, all that area, Khoisan people. The northern part of the country did have black people. They'd started arriving, and they were still migrating.
How long have they been there in the northern?
Well, it's a moot point, and people have debated it. It would seem that black people had probably started arriving in the northern parts of South Africa, maybe 1,000 years, something like that, about 1,000 years before whites got there, right up in the north. Okay, and they've been slowly moving south because it's an empty space. I mean, one of the things about Africa is it's very empty. Up until the 1950s, Africa was very empty. It's the population exploded because white colonists, the naughty white colonists, put hospitals there, and there's been this huge population explosion since the 1950s. But Africa was really very empty up until then. And so tribes moved around and just occupied new empty territory. So the guys coming down from the north, who called the Bantu, it's called the Bantu expansions, when black people came out of the Cameroons. They'd been occupying South Africa and moving systematically south, down the east coast.
They were
of South
pastoralists, am I right?
Yeah, they were pastoralists, yeah. Whereas the Khoisan were hunter-gatherers. They were like aboriginals, okay, so they hadn't become pastoralists yet. The black guys are migrating down from the north and settling, doing exactly what white guys are doing. So white guys, the Dutch guys from Cape Town, were settling by moving westwards, eastwards. So the white guys are moving from Cape Town eastwards, and the black guys are moving down from the north. And they met at a place called the Fish River, which is now in the middle of South Africa, at a place called, it's still called Border. Everybody in South Africa calls that part of the country the border, even though there's no border there at all anymore. But there was a river called the Fish River, which is where blacks and whites first encountered each other. And then it started 100 years of warfare between whites and the Xhosa, who were the tribe that they met there. So, okay, so at that point, that would have been in the 1700. So whites and blacks first encountered each other in 1700. Okay, so whites had already been there for 100 years at that point.
Although the white them are still foreigners them for the land, and the other black people are still foreigners them for the land, so Now that kind of people then with the act, the gods must be crazy, be the real inhabitants them for South African land as the real people for South Africa. So South African people they bantos them, so they migrate from Cameroon. They come up from Cameroon before Stana make Africa what Africa is now. You see, plenty people are not gonna get idea about all these things. And now these same people of South Africa they drive black people out. They talk to me black people them out, they come out their country. Even the same Cameroonian them, their own people. You know their history, they drive people them for your land. If your president, una president be, if una government be a problem, why una get for focus una intention na for normal foreigners them? Why una no attack una government? May they do the right thing what they supposed to do. Na foreigners supposed to go on a job, or how they take una woman there. That na the latest complaint I don't ever ever get am. We come up from South African people. Say people they can't take their woman. After all, some educated South African people then, right? Don't come out for talk say no to this South African movement where they want to bring them out, the key people, the chase people them out. At least when something they so that we know South Africa get the most stupid people, but at least someone in there will get sense small. More watch the video, we'll see how it go.
To our fellow South Africans, don't allow people with political ambitions to come and lie to you, make you angry at people who did not do wrong to you. If we are angry, we should be angry at our government. This is why we organized this march today, to go to the government and show them that we are really angry, but we are not here to fight with you. We are here to remind you what you should be doing. So we are saying, government, do the right thing. Just employ and train these people, because people are going everywhere and say, I'm do you know the difference between an original asylum and a fake one? Do you know how a work visa look? So basically, this that is happening. I know they said we must not call it
now they do the thing. I did shoot video for you, Nancy.
Whether it's xenophobia or it's Afrophobia, as long as there's hatred, I am telling you, my sister, South Africans must refrain from hating fellow Africans, because this thing is actually directed at the people who look like us.
As you don't see, at least the person gets sense. South African people are very stupid people. I did not doubt me say the people that come for Cameroon. I no get doubt. Cameroonians them over be lazy and their dependency ratio. Then I right for up the. They depend very badly. Now why they go see where they go be lazy for that way they feel could attack people them so may they come up for that country. I tell you, the lazy now that level. Anyways, if you don't watch our video, reach for the part where we agree with thing we'll talk for here, or thing where the man talk. Don't forget to subscribe so that we'll continue to drop more videos like this. Don't forget for like, don't forget to share. Maybe other people them to get in contact with we to the watch our video there. Thanks for watching.